Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Advancement Center on this beautiful and very hot day here in Santa Barbara. Welcome to your world of magic and miracles and harmony atop this elevated platform of living where we gather 3 times a week to renew, refresh, and strengthen the industry of magic and miracles that is growing all the time, especially when we're gathered together as the amazing family that we've become. This past Wednesday, it was, Ganya's broadcast awakened in all of us the limitless love between a mother and her child, which expanded to the mother love in all of us, including men, nature, and the universe itself. I am still riding on the divine message that David delivered on Friday with his guest, Kathleen Ertz. David introduced a very simple phrase brought in by Robert Young. At all times, think of me and nothing else. And then added, being in need of nothing is where you'll find yourself. David introduced Kathleen, a visionary, and when she filled the screen with her presence, I saw the high priestess delivering her message from her origin to all, and by so doing, lifted all humanity. The harmony created by these two majestic beings is still present here at the Advancement Center. Now, there is nothing I enjoy more than listening to stories of our origin and details of what we have brought with us to share with the world. Many years ago, when I first met Robert, he told me his story. Not too long after he had come to Earth after having had a fatal car accident, he was asked many questions by many people who demanded answers. And one day, he walked into the bush and spoke to his guidance, asking for one solution to everything without all the rules, regulations, and have-tos that seemed to be in everybody's mind, and added, and don't send the apprentice. The answer came with a powerful force that physically buckled his knees. It was a message from the Creator, and the words spoken and heard were, at all times, think of me and nothing else. That is the solution to everything. Now, that is not just a story of a time past. Robert lives that message and has guided us through many of life's surprises by thinking only of his Creator, and a solution is soon to follow. That is how I chose the title for today's broadcast. Each and every one of us is holding the solution to everything, even when all appearances say otherwise. It is especially important in those times of stress, disappointment, failure, or other negative appearing circumstances that we think only of me and nothing else. The more I write these words, the more I am realizing the power of them. And at dinner one night, Robert and I were discussing the upcoming broadcast. And this is what we came to. You have the solution to everything. Now, pardon me, with the flies, and always. It may not be visible or audible at the moment to you who is demanding it to show itself, which in no way means that it doesn't exist. As you require the answer, it will come. You don't ask your hand to move, it moves because it's part of you. Know this, rely on this, even though the presented picture is so different. A parent listens to a teenager bemoaning her lack of a social life, and you can see her brilliant future as a happy mother someday. Don't fall for the picture presented. Hold to a perfect picture. And we are deluged with false pictures these days. We certainly are. Just last week, we had a big disappointment with a rental property in Connecticut. David and I stood in the kitchen with Robert, who was holding to this thought. Now, 8 days later, a solution is becoming clear. And today, an even better second solution happened and culminated in a signed lease. We call it magic. It is. When things appear from out of nowhere. We are always being divinely held. We say that so often. And to experience it is so important, especially in those times when appearances say otherwise and you feel most forgotten. This is the time when you are holding the solution, perhaps not visible at first, because you adhered to, at all times, think of me and nothing else. And that is the title of David's writing on this important theme to be lived. And it's my pleasure, because when David writes, one hearing is not enough. No. So enjoy. At all times, think of me and nothing else. If you think of me and nothing else, being in need of nothing is where you'll find yourself. These words were given from a friend one day. Now I share them with you so they may guide your way. At all times, think of me and nothing else. A simple phrase to be spoken, no matter what is felt. You can feel the vastness from the transmission of these words, an infinite connection with the all when they are heard. Who is the me that you must think of? It's up to you to decide. Only you will know what that means to you. It will be felt from deep inside. My me and your me may not be the same. Me is known to go by many different names. It could be known as an object or even as the rain, or just simply known as the one who has no name. When you think of me at all times, you're moved in ways that can't be defined. Doors will open where none exist. The flow created, you can't resist. You will hear and see the music that is played. Feel my arms wrapped around you because my presence never fades. Always at the ready, I see your every move. At all times, think of me and the storm clouds you will lose. The more times that you see me, the more times you see yourself. For when you get to know me, you'll get to know it's you who brings the help. For you are me and I am you. Greater things than these is what you came to do. I am creator, and so too are you. Yes, greater things than these is what you came to do. All things will fall away, and you'll see me as yourself. At all times, think of me, and your magic will be felt. You will be as me. To great joy, you will live. It is your destiny, your destiny. And from this place, you will give. Thank you, David. You capture, you hold, and you offer all the time. It's beautiful. I think I lost my place. I'm not sure. Okay. Robert's story that I just told you dates back to 1986, the year of his re-entry. That was 33 years ago. And if people were desperately looking for answers then, today the world is even more filled with unanswered questions, mounting debt, and the belief that the answer sought is in amassing money. At all times, think of me and nothing else. That is the solution to everything. This statement of truth is a lighthouse in a churning sea of worldly events. You can captain your ship to the most safe harbor with a quieted mind, which takes a physical action. Turn off your iPhone, your Facebook, TV, and the residual thoughts created for the express motive of controlling humanity. Here is the answer to that control, not of our own choosing. At all times, think of me and nothing else. That is the solution to everything. Within our field, the perfect solution exists. Rather than casting about claiming what is not happening and all the reasons for this not to occur, first relax and just recall to your awareness all the times when the resolution of an anxiety became the awareness of that solution, quietly awaiting your recognition. Only in the quietness of our being is the silent revolution on the surface of the world right now. as we all move forward and see how closely we are connected to the operation of the universe, it will become much easier to relax and use the gifts that are unique to each one of us. The slightest action within our field will change everything, and the random action of our spirit will continue to lead us in a relaxed but active pattern to generate magic and miracles and bring to light the brilliance of our majestic being for all to experience. Every word I shared with you has its source in the very life I am living with Robert here at the Advancement Center. At all times, I am so glad that I followed my spirit to Australia, where we met. Please join us, Robert.
Hello.
Oh, I love this. This is so special.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Quite in-depth and brilliant.
Thank you.
I don't know if there's anything I can add to that, but we'll give it a go. Because there's always more, isn't there?
Yeah.
Once I heard somebody say, wow, where do you get all this from? And I didn't know the answer. And here I go, once again saying, oh, I don't know. But it's already part of me. And I think all there is that is different is I had a second chance.
Yes.
If you frame that in your mind, you can see that many circumstances put you through life in a way that you didn't expect.
Mhm.
And you often say to yourself, if I had another chance, I wouldn't do that again. If I had another chance, I would look at things differently. And if I had another chance, I would see past all the rubbish that seems to be presented on your way forward in life. So I'm pretty sure that that's all it is. I had another chance to actually live, not in the world that's presented, but to live in the world that exists. And that's the world that I named as Magic and Miracles. And you'll remember the first time I said that, people thought I was crazy.
I do remember.
And everybody loves the statement now.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of pushing things out of the road or pushing things forward or even demonstrating anything. It's a matter of living the life so that it can exist.
Yeah.
You live that life, it exists for everybody. You don't have to force anybody into anything. And you don't have to force yourself. So if you have the ability to feel that there's more, just step into it. Because it already exists for you. It might not exist for anybody else, but it exists for you. And as soon as you step into it, there are more possibilities for everybody else. You build a cinema there's more possibilities for people to express what they want through the cinema or by watching. So every feat that we achieve in this everyday world has more to it than what we think. Because the desire behind it all is not just simple, it's heartfelt. It has a drive that enables you to do the impossible, to force you because you want to. You want to achieve perfection. And you're looking at somebody recognizing that and saying, wow, that's good. But that's not it. You recognize it, say, wow, that's good yourself. You don't have to worry about anybody else. You will achieve more, and then they might say something. But if you go step by step, I've just done this, where's my payment for it? You'll find that you'll be sitting there waiting for the applause or for the thanks or for the income for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But if you just step forward, say to yourself, wow, that was great. And then enjoy life, enjoy what's around you, enjoy everything to the fullest, you'll find there's more there than what you thought there was. Because you smiled at one time when you thought you were miserable, the whole world has changed. And you can smile anytime you like. Because as soon as you start to smile, it takes over.
It does.
So even if there's something not to your liking, you can take on the world of your creator by a simple smile, by a simple movement. Even without movement, you can move your energy. You can just go, and everybody can feel it. Everywhere. You just flutter a little bit of your eyes and you look at people and you shoot, whoa, and everybody changes. So many of the things that we feel are unimportant are the most powerful of all things. A little feeling, a sense of excitement, a flutter of energy, something you see out of the corner of your eye, the image that you don't think is there, you allow to be there without concentrating, and keep going, keep moving, keep enlivening every moment. Just as you see a child, their eyes are all the time looking at something, and they've got something on their mind that really they can't tell you because they don't stop long enough.
Yeah.
And that's the motion that I came into, not stopping long enough to study anything because I know better. I know I can see more. I know I can experience more. So if something attracts my attention, it's only got it for a fraction of a second.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm in the world that was given to me. I have the life that was given to me. And even though for a long time I haven't been able to demonstrate the personality because I had constraints in society, I believe now I'm demonstrating the personality just as you are. The personality of ease and grace and joy and abundance in ways that we cannot explain. Even in the possibility of us talking to one another as we are now, it's a marvelous feeling. It gives recognition to the life that we live. And we don't have to give any details. It's shown in our world. It's shown in our faces. It's shown in the beautiful way you present things. And today, of all days, I didn't expect to be here talking to you. But you just said, I think I need you on the other end.
Yeah.
So, here I am. That's what happens every day. And it's no different to the things that you do each day by determining that you have to go and put out the garbage, collect the mail. All those things happen in between you walking someplace to do something. It pops up and you just do it. And they're not duties anymore. It's just what you do. And on a certain day, you take the garbage down. And on a different day, you do something else. But that only takes up probably, I don't know, 1 or 2 minutes. At the most, 10 out of all the time we have. And we keep it in our focus in the old world, thinking I've got to have a list, I've got to do all this. And it takes you longer to make your list than to do the whole lot.
Mm-hmm. I found that out. Yeah.
So going on from at all times think of me and nothing else, it's nothing to do, it's a way of life. And if you find yourself thinking about something, well, you know, you've stalled. You're not moving ahead. You're stuck. So the way to stop it is simply stop it. There's no method. It's just a sudden realization and you don't have to do anything, it's gone. Sudden realization that you're locked onto a thought and it's gone. It's not a matter of doing anything. It's living the life that was prepared for us. The life of mystery, magic, of amazement at our own ability.
Yeah.
The power of our own simplicity. So I've done it again. I'm speaking too much again.
Mm-mm. I knew you were going to say that, and that's why I shook my head. No, these are priceless moments.
Well, one of the things that has driven me for a long time is not to repeat anything. And because there was not enough time to bring everything to everybody's awareness.
Mm.
So I wouldn't even look at my own transmissions or my own writing or anything.
That's right.
So that it's fresh and new all the time. Well, now we have a multitude of that happening from each one of you. And it's great to hear some of my words again, but they come out different.
Mm-hmm.
And they come out with a different slant. When you or David or Kenya or Kathleen speak about it, and many others.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy to hear those older stories, whereas I wouldn't have repeated them again myself.
Right.
So thank you.
That just opened a new door for us. You always do that.
So the life that you live is not designed by anybody else.
Mm.
Even though you might think you're driven by circumstance, by need, it's not driven by anything like that. It's driven by you and that special part of you that is majestic. And it converts all that through that supercomputer that belongs to you into the physical world, not the other way around. So you wave your hands and you change the world. You nod your head at the right time and everybody changes their opinion, don't they?
Mm-hmm. You just made me think of the purpose the flies are providing, because they make us wave our hands. I'm sorry, but that just touched my funny bone.
Other things to say about the flies, but there are many aspects of the world that are there to disconnect you from the very point that you're at.
Mm.
And you'd think it's annoying and drives you crazy, but in fact it's a disconnect. Just like someone slamming a door, it changes your whole pattern.
Yeah.
So the same thing happens in a big way in the physical world as well. Some of the patterns that get set in the earth have to change. And they change by the release of energy or force or sound, or just by more people visiting or changing direction. A township can become a booming town overnight because there's more people arriving, because of more activity. But it's all about the people and their effect on the world. The most powerful beings on earth are humanity. And it's not whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. The whole interaction becomes sweeter if you're not concerned about how it's working. Because you have something inside you, around you, and in your field that you have no idea, through the human thought pattern, thought process, you have no idea how to do anything with it. But as soon as you smile and you feel that knowing, you feel something swell inside you, you know that's how it is. That's how it works. That's the field that I have to energize the world, the universe, and everything in it. So that's where we're getting to, the realization of the force field that we control, that is so gentle it can move a mountain. How did we get to there? You see, as we discuss things, more arises,
Yes.
more angles sort of come into our awareness.
Yeah.
And the awareness that we're riding on now far exceeds any knowledge that the world has ever had.
Yes.
So I think I'll leave it at that.
And all I can say is thank you for saying, yes, I'll be there.
Great.
Thank you. And together, we here at the Advancement Center are wishing you a perfect life, perfect health, and a very magical future. Thank you.